The Philippines, once focused on internal struggles and domestic challenges, now stands at the heart of a tense and rapidly evolving geopolitical drama. Its transformation from a nation preoccupied with internal affairs to a central player on the world stage has captured global attention. Naval vessels from world powers now converge in its waters, drawn by the nation's strategic location between the vast Pacific Ocean and the contested South China Sea. This maritime crossroads is a vital artery for global trade and military movement, making it a focal point for international interests. The Philippines' shift from internal security to external defense has transformed it into Asia's new strategic battleground. Its armed forces are now training and modernizing, preparing for challenges that extend far beyond its own borders. Its government is asserting sovereign rights amid growing pressure from China, backed by powerful allies like the United States, Australia, and Japan. These partnerships are not just symbolic, they represent a united front in the face of increasing regional tensions. These alliances aim to uphold a free and open international order, but also create a volatile environment where a single miscalculation could spark a much larger conflict. The stakes are high, and every move is watched closely by the world. Warships patrol the contested waters, military leaders meet in high-stakes discussions, and ordinary citizens watch as the Philippines becomes a linchpin for regional stability or a potential flashpoint for confrontation. The convergence of naval forces here is both a story of unprecedented cooperation and a warning of possible confrontation as nations test the limits of diplomacy and deterrence. The Philippines is no longer a passive observer, but an active player shaping the future of Indo-Pacific security, determined to protect its sovereignty and contribute to regional peace. Its strategic importance has never been clearer, and the world is watching closely to see what happens next in this pivotal nation. For decades, the Philippine military focused almost exclusively on internal threats, insurgencies, communist rebels, and separatist movements, fighting in dense jungles and remote villages across the archipelago. This internal focus left the country's maritime defenses neglected, with aging ships and underfunded coastal installations unable to keep pace with regional developments. Now, a historic pivot is underway. The active archipelagic defense strategy marks a dramatic shift, redirecting focus to protecting the nation's vast maritime borders and asserting sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea. This transformation is a direct response to China's growing assertiveness and expansive claims, which have heightened tensions and raised the stakes in the region. The military is retooling for maritime operations, establishing new units like the Maritime Security Battalion and investing in specialized training to counter external threats at sea. The front line has moved from jungle interiors to contested waters, where Filipino sailors and Marines now stand guard over vital sea lanes and disputed reefs. Modernization is challenging, with decades of underinvestment and limited resources making it difficult to upgrade equipment and build a modern navy overnight. International support, especially from the US and regional allies, is now critical to building credible deterrence and enhancing the Philippines' ability to defend its waters. The Philippines' external defense is no longer just a national project, it's a collaborative effort, with regional partners working together to maintain peace and stability in Southeast Asia. This shift marks the most significant change in the country's defense posture in modern history, signaling a new era of vigilance and cooperation. The stakes for the Philippines and its partners have never been higher, as the nation stands at the forefront of a rapidly changing security landscape. China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea, especially its sweeping claims and harassment of Filipino vessels, have pushed the Philippines to the brink. The June 2024 clash at Second Thomas Shoal marked a dangerous escalation, with Chinese forces boarding Philippine boats and injuring sailors. This incident revealed a new, more confrontational posture from both sides, raising alarms worldwide. The Philippines responded by deploying elite forces, while China escalated its tactics beyond previous blockades. These confrontations are part of Beijing's campaign to assert control and wear down Manila's resolve. Chinese vessels routinely shadow, challenge, and interfere with Philippine patrols and energy exploration. The relentless pressure has forced the Philippines to seek new allies and rapidly modernize its forces. The shadow of conflict looms large over the archipelago. Facing mounting threats, the Philippines is racing to modernize its navy and maritime law enforcement. Once reliant on outdated World War II-era ships, Manila is now acquiring new warships, patrol craft, and surveillance systems. U.S. support is crucial, funding upgrades to key naval bases and providing advanced vessels to extend operational reach. The Philippine Marine Corps is adapting, repurposing riverine boats for open-sea missions and establishing new maritime units. The June 2024 resupply mission at 2nd Thomas Shoal showcased Filipino ingenuity and urgency. Modernization is about more than confronting China. It's about establishing credible deterrence and asserting sovereignty. New frigates, upgraded bases, and international partnerships signal the Philippines' commitment to defending its territory. The world is taking notice of Manila's determined naval renaissance. Joint military exercises have become a defining feature of the Philippines' new defense strategy, marking a significant shift in how the country approaches its security challenges. These drills, involving key allies like the United States, Australia, and Canada, are powerful demonstrations of collective resolve and shared commitment to regional stability. Exercises like Alon, the largest ever with Australia, focus on amphibious and air assaults in strategic locations near disputed waters, simulating real-world scenarios that demand seamless cooperation. The participation of U.S. Marines and other allied forces underscores the interconnected nature of these alliances, fostering trust and interoperability among partner nations. Recent drills have featured advanced warships, cutting-edge aircraft, and coordinated maneuvers from multiple nations, building real-world coordination and enhancing deterrence capabilities. These exercises are more than just training. They're also diplomatic signals and unmistakable warnings to Beijing, showing that the Philippines is not alone. High-level visits, such as by the U.S. Pacific Fleet Commander, reinforce the strength and depth of these alliances, sending a message of unity at the highest levels. The message is clear. Any act of aggression against the Philippines will not go unanswered, and the region's security partners stand ready to respond. By training together, allies not only improve their military skills, but also show unity and readiness to defend the rules-based order that underpins peace in the region. Today, the Philippines stands as a premier training ground for regional security cooperation, strengthening its role as a vital hub for allied defense and partnership in Southeast Asia. The Philippines sits at the center of a precarious security environment, balancing unprecedented cooperation with the risk of explosive confrontation. Allied naval forces deter aggression, but the risk of miscalculation remains dangerously high. The June 2024 clash at 2nd Thomas Shoal is a stark reminder of how quickly tensions can escalate. A similar incident involving U.S. or allied vessels could trigger treaty obligations and global crisis. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, bolstered by partners like Australia and Japan, forms the backbone of deterrence. Joint patrols and exercises signal that the international community stands with the Philippines. This is a contest between two visions, one of a free, lawful Indo-Pacific, and another of power-based dominance. The outcome will set the precedent for regional security for decades to come. The Philippines has become the linchpin of Asia-Pacific security, standing at the front line of the contest with an assertive China. Its strategic location and resolve have made it central to the global effort to uphold a rules-based order. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade. Conflict here would disrupt economies worldwide. The growing network of alliances, US, Australia, Japan, Canada, creates a new security architecture and empowers smaller nations. The Philippines is a test case for collective security in the Indo-Pacific. If this coalition succeeds, it sets a blueprint for resisting coercion across the region. The Philippines' transformation from internal focus to external leadership is reshaping the balance of power. The world is watching as the future of the Pacific and global order unfolds in these waters.